The thoughts, views, and comments expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production of Glory 93.9 FM.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street.
Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Wardrobe provided by Bahari Bahamas. Visit shopbahari.com. And welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on this Friday, the 26th day of March. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for looking in today. And as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company. Would you believe that this is my 50th show here at Glory FM already? 50 shows, like how? Time goes quickly, eh? But today is our 50th show here on Glory 93.9 FM. And I'm just really honored to have you guys join me every day to talk about the issues that affect us here in the Bahamas. And I look forward to many, many more shows here on Glory 93.9 FM. They really make it, this is a really good environment to be in, y'all. I mean, even guests who come in the studio, walk in for the first time, one of the first things they say is, wow, this is really nice. And it goes beyond just the aesthetics of the place, but I think it's the whole spirit. When you walk in, you can just feel it. And I'm just really very honored and privileged to be here at Glory 93.9 FM. And I want to thank them again for allowing us to bring truth to the airwaves. The truth has a new home, and I'm just really excited. 50 shows already. It's like, what? How did that happen already? But anyway, it is what it is. And it's a joy to have you guys join me here. So, you know what Friday means, TGIF. It's an open line show, and we're going to be talking about the week that was. And boy, what a week it was. So we have a lot of ground to cover. And I would love to hear you and what you have to say, what's on your mind. So I'm going to throw out the phone lines early in the show. It's 828-3543. 828-3543 is the number to call. That's the call line. And 828-2543. 828-2543 is the text line. And of course, you can always put a comment on Facebook, and we will go through a couple of them and put on the air. But with the open line shows, I like to hear your voice, not just the Facebook comments, and not to say that I don't appreciate all of the comments that you put there, because clearly, Graham Weatherford, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, he said, Michelle, you realize that your Facebook comments are your calls now. The audience has shifted. And I said, yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way. He says, yeah, you got a lot of comments. I'm like, yeah, we get a lot of comments every day. So I appreciate all the comments that you put on Facebook. I really do. But we would also like to hear your voice, especially on this Friday, because it's an open line show. And it's an opportunity for you to get off your mind whatever's on your chest. So, boy, what a week it was. My God, where do we begin? First of all, I would like to say thank you to the gentlemen who were involved in alerting everyone, first of all, stopping that deranged individual from harming that child any further than they already did in terms of the traumatization, because I'm sure that was a traumatic experience for that little girl. But thank you to the gentleman who saw what was going on and took quick action to stop him from whatever demonic thing was in his mind to do to that child. And not just stop him and chase him off, but alert the public to his presence. I believe that it was because of the quick thinking of those gentlemen who were involved in that the police were able to apprehend him so quickly. So the culprit has been apprehended. He's been taken before the courts. He's pleaded guilty, and he's going to be sentenced in April. I want to say thank you to those gentlemen for looking out for that child and doing something. You know, I don't sit here in judgment of any parent, because everybody's circumstances are different. And some parents maybe aren't able to walk their children to school because maybe they have to be at work, whatever the circumstances are. But this is not the same day and age that I grew up in. I grew up walking to school. But that was a long time ago in a different time where, you know, it was not the same Bahamas we live in today. And so I was happy to hear on the news that the school is now, you know, trying to figure out what more they can do in terms of having kids walk together or whatever. But I just want to encourage you, if you can, to walk your children to school or drop them off to school if you have transportation, or ride with them on the bus or whatever, if you can. Because you got some sick people walking around out here. And, you know, my thing is, well, clearly we've been talking about the sex offenders registry so long now that this only highlights yet again why that needs to be enforced without any further delay. Because we have to put the safety of our children first, above anything else. And I don't understand. I mean, if such a thing were in place, maybe it would not have been as easy for him to try to attack that child in broad daylight, no less, if that sex offenders registry was enforced. Here's my thing. If he was that comfortable and bold to do that in the middle of the day, broad daylight, it makes me wonder, are there other victims out there that just didn't come forward? Because you got to be real bold. How did he get to that place where he was so comfortable committing such a heinous act in the middle of the day? Big, broad sunlight for everybody to see. Now, I could hear some arguing that I saw the news report about his court appearance and them saying that he was mumbling to himself and then all this kind of stuff. So I could hear the argument, you know, he's mentally unstable and all that kind of stuff. You know, well, he may be, but you know, he ain't so mentally unstable that he ain't run when they try to catch him. He had enough sense to run. Right, Delton? He wasn't so deranged that he ain't try to escape. And I am not trying to minimize the problem of mental health issues in this country. It's a problem. And we see it, you know, you drive down the street now and you see a bunch of people on the side of the road having big discussion and argument with themselves or them and their imaginary friends. So, yes, we have a problem in this country when it comes to mental health. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to dismiss that. I think there are too many people walking our streets who need help. But when you're going to come to the point where you're going to try to assault a 7-year-old child, the gentleman who alerted everyone said by the time he got to try to pull that child away, this man had a full erection for a 7-year-old child. What kind of demon you got to have up in you? My God. It'll be interesting to see what they charge him with. Because I still ain't forget that bus driver who get a little slap on the wrist with a $200 fine for sexually assaulting, for putting his hand on a teenage girl dress. I ain't forget that. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. I just want to call to say that ever since, I think for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I stumbled across 93.9 and I experienced good show.
Mm-hmm.
But I think by far the best show that I have enjoyed so far is the one that you had Debbie Bartlett and
Jerome
Sawyer on.
Thank you.
I agree with their sentiments. I also agree with wherever there is freedom of speech and freedom of assembly,
Mm-hmm.
it comes with responsibility.
Yes.
The reason I say it is because I remember when I was raising funds to purchase a baby grand piano for my choir back in the 70s. Before we could go out and have these takeouts and cookouts and stuff, we had to obtain a certificate from the Commissioner of Police office.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we had to do that to cook, when it comes to marches or anything else, I think that they should also have some sort of permit, not only for themselves, but for the benefit of those people who would come, the bystanders who would come, so that they would not be injured in the case. Some people feel like they ought to try to do something untoward or something, but for your own protection.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really enjoyed that show with Jerome Sawyer and Debbie Bartlett. And really, I haven't heard Debbie's voice for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And people out here are listening.
Thank you so much. I will definitely
welcome.
pass on your sentiments. I've been getting a lot of compliments about that show, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I will definitely pass on your to both Debbie and Jerome. It's interesting because after the show, after that particular show, I got a call from KCX, and he was trying to explain that this whole thing about permits to protest is from the penal code, but not from the Constitution, because the Constitution gives you, the Constitution, I think, calls for you to have freedom of assembly, but the penal code is where this whole thing about permits comes up. And as he pointed, and I said to him, why didn't you call and say this on the show? But as he pointed out, the penal code has been around since the days of slavery, and that was put into effect to control slaves, to make sure that slaves did not revolt. And so the language of the penal code goes way back to that, and the efforts that were put in place at that time to stop slaves from assembling together and, turning on their masters type of thing. So it's KCX, if you're listening, it would be great if you can call in to explain to our audience the difference between what it says in the penal code, what it says in the Constitution, and which should take precedence over the other, which is the supreme law, and how this whole permit thing works. And I agree, it's supposed to be for protection, not to stop you from being able to protest. Because a key part of democracy is your freedom to protest against what you think is wrong. Within the confines of the law, yes, but you should be free to be able to protest. And when you see people being shut down for protesting, then you need to be concerned about your democracy. Is your democracy under threat? Because that's a clear sign that something is not quite right when you are trying to stifle your people from protesting. Now, speaking of which, everybody knows what happened. The day we were doing that show, which was Monday, is when it was a Monday when the DNA leadership was arrested this past Monday. We have another caller because we want to talk about this DNA situation, but let's take the phone call. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller.
Yes, good morning, Lady Malcolm. How you doing today?
Great. How are you?
That's good. I'm fine, thanks. As usual, a great show. I just wanted to touch on the topic about the test.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of things we need to take in consideration. Yes, because we are under the emergency orders, we are now operating under the penal code, whereas you would need permission to conduct a protest.
Mm-hmm.
Ordinarily, it shouldn't be. I don't see why we would need a permit in a democratic and a democracy to peacefully assemble. If I want to go right now to Rawson Square and I want to assemble there, me and a couple other persons or me by myself,
Mm-hmm.
if we are truly free, we shouldn't have a problem with that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But my thing is, a lot of persons are missing the point, and that is Lady Kumalafi. She had written for permission for the motorcade and whatever have you to have her day,
Mm-hmm.
and she was denied. My question is, why was she denied when she asked? Because of course they have to write these letters really to the competent authority at this point, okay? And then the competent authority gives it to the commissioner of police. He carries it out or whatever like that and write the permit or whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, why were they denied? Why? What was the reason why? Why are they being denied to have the motorcade, being denied to peacefully protest? Why is it? Because
Especially
you
when
cannot.
other parties are being given the same permissions to do so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You cannot say that they are being denied because we are in
No.
an in a state of an emergency
No.
when we have Dr. Hubert Minnis himself campaigning with 100 persons basically for the past couple of weekends, walking side by side.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Pile up like sardine. It cannot be one law for one person and another law for someone else. You understand? If it's a law, then everyone have to be governed by the law. Are we saying that the Prime Minister of the Bahamas is above the law? Is that what we're saying?
Well, clearly he is, because we heard them say that the law applies to everyone, right? But yet the Prime Minister, the competent authority, whichever one you want to choose, admitted himself that he goes jogging 4:30 in the morning when the rest of us lock up till 5. So he confessed his own crime.
Okay, see, this is the level of incompetence, inconsistencies, and people continue to make excuses after excuses. How many excuses are you going to make? You have, if at the end of the day, these persons are being, people are being arrested for going this place and that place. You understand what I'm saying? How is it that the Prime Minister can be able to assemble with whatever amount of persons that he wants to assemble with? And then the commissioner of police have the nerve to come on national television, and said he had no idea that these activities were happening. He had no idea that Dr. Minnis was campaigning with over 100 persons for the past couple of weekends. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. How could you come to the national television and say that? You ought to be ashamed.
Honestly.
How do you not know? Where is the COVID police? Where is the COVID police when this is happening? How is it that we are so quick to say, Kumalafi, they needed a permit, they needed a permit. But are you preaching the same thing with the campaigns that Dr. Minnis is having with over 100 persons? Are you preaching that same thing?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to preach that and stick to that, you got to stick to that all around, man. We got to stop this.
Yeah, it's madness. It's madness.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time, lady.
Thank you for calling. You know, the caller, you are absolutely right. It's absolute madness. And one of the things that really bothers me with this crew is how they are adamant on insulting my intelligence. This is a practice for them to insult your intelligence. Case in point. Actually, I think this is one of the clips that I prepared for today. Marvin Daines, Minister with responsibility for national security, and his usual, got a caller. Let me take the call first. Hello, caller. Welcome to GPS.
Yes, good morning, Michelle. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm great. To add to what the lady has said, the caller before, man, it's just a bunch of hypocrisy, man. I never thought I'd live to see the day. You know, one standard for one set of people different status than the other. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Let me sum it up like this. What I've noticed is a growing trend. Many businesses over the hill, COVID police are shutting them down for some reason.
Hmm.
And the businesses in the same field, like say the bars and restaurants. You drive out west, let me give you a case in point. I'm not going to call any names, of course. But on the Western Bay Strip, you have some popular nice restaurants. And I've never seen COVID cars around there yet.
Hmm.
I frequent some of those businesses myself. I'll carry my girlfriend there, and we have a nice time. No protocols are in place. We may see some folks wear a mask or whatnot. The bartenders aren't wearing masks. Give you an example. Valentine's Eve just gone. The place is jam-packed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It is beyond jam-packed. People are turning around. They would not park because it's so crowded. It's saturated with people. To the entrance, to people waiting on tables to free up. They're sitting at the bars. Cigars are blowing. Nice cars in the parking lot. The works. Now, on the flip side of that coin, you have Market Street, for example. I have a friend that has a bar there. It's very, very popular. Okay. Across adjacent to that building, there's another bar. COVID police have been there basically every weekend consistently. That business owner, he has about $3,000 to $4,000 in fines. He got so sick and tired of it until he put a table by the door, by the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And when they buzz the door open, they serve you there from far. You're not allowed to come on the premises.
Mm-hmm.
COVID police are sent there again to serve another ticket. Okay, it's really sad to see what's happening. I mean, in front of our very eyes, it seems like we were going backwards in time. We were going back to slavery. The white Bahamians are all foreign. Now, I hate to say it the way I'm saying it, but it's just a fact based on what I've seen consistently for some time now. They're getting away with murder, and they're allowed to do whatever they want to do. There's basically no curfew based on what I've seen, because I have my own business and I have delivery services as well, so I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're allowed to do whatever they want to do, whatever time of the night or morning they want to do it. And of course, they're not. Over the hill is a different standard. It's as if we've reverted back to slavery. I'll call one of the businesses' name because he's a good friend. Johnson's Bar on Market Street. He's been a target of COVID police consistently when he's obeying the protocols.
Mm.
It's sickening to see what's happening right now in this town, man. And with Komalafi, the situation with Ms. Komalafi, I'm not surprised. And like the caller mentioned before, there have been many motorcades, blasting music, big hawks, big, they're in full campaign mode now. And there's a different standard for different folks.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't give two hoots about who thinks what. He is that ballsy and he's not arrogant.
Yeah, no, they don't care. They will insult your intelligence right in your face.
This is beyond me. Listen to me. If Bahamians were not so passive, believe me, people are revolted and kicked down his gate. This is crazy. This is beyond. This has insulted everyone's intelligence.
Yeah.
And he has no problem doing what he's doing. Like, this is the guy that, when he went on his protests, when he's the opposition, they didn't request any permission to do what they wanted to do.
Well,
they requested no permission.
Even if they did, the permission was granted clearly because they did it. But
exactly.
Yeah, but you don't frustrate people by saying, "Oh, you have to apply for a permit," and then either you don't respond to the application, or you deny and can't give them a good reason why you're denying it. I mean, it's so ridiculous.
I didn't come to say too much, but I mean, I'm stammering talking to you, Michelle, because it's crazy.
Frustrating.
I mean, what is this? What is this?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? I mean, we're glancing through Facebook, we're looking at notifications about car wash and car shine, this and that. But what we really got to be worried about is it's in front of us and it's being done blatantly. You know, I think the same is we really need to prioritize what is really important, what really ails us.
Yes.
What causes us to feel so downtrodden. You have a lot of folks, they're shocking with family, you know, and we've had to adjust our situation and our spending habits because we don't have it. You know, but we have to really prioritize really what is the cancer that ails this nation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we identify that and target that and do something about it.
Agreed.
Because this is ridiculousness, man.
Yeah,
This
agreed.
cannot go on much longer.
Agreed.
That's all I got to say, Michelle.
Thank you so much for calling. I agree with you 1,001%. Okay.
All right.
We have to take a quick break. Let's take this break. And then when we come back, I want to talk about this whole situation with the DNA and the absolutely ridiculously ludicrous response that the Minister of National Security came up with. And I'm like, Marvin Dames, come on, man. Really? Let's go to a break.
Located on Carmichael Road, Divine Designs Hair Boutique is a haven for women and men looking for professional beauty services. Our state-of-the-art and contemporary equipment creates a relaxing ambiance for you to enjoy while we cater to you. Need a hairstylist? We cater to all types and textures of hair for care and styling. We even have a barber on duty. Need a nail tech? Our technicians provide a range of nail services, including the latest trends. Unwind in one of our massage chairs while you get your pedicure. With our reasonable rates, friendly staff, and over 20 years of experience, you will be in great hands. Call us at 823-1669 or 698-1025 to schedule your appointment. Want to be pampered? Want to be slayed? Let Divine Designs make your day.
Boy, 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 here calamity. Boy, 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 don't want that be me. Let me get this coverage, do it once and for all. Insurance management is who I gonna call.
When calamity strikes, we're here to keep you safe and secure. With offices in Nassau, Freeport, Abacoy, Luther, and Exuma, Insurance Management, we cover the Bahamas.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. Today is an open line show. And so would love to hear from you. Our telephone number is 828-3543, 828-3543. And the number to text us is 828-2543, 828-2543. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
God bless you. Good morning, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Thank God for life.
Amen.
Yes, in regards to the matter of the DNA being arrested, I mean, if hypocrisy is not obvious to the whole country being practiced by the Minister administration, then truly nobody in this country is, sleeping with their eyes open, so to speak. Or rather, they are sleeping with their eyes open. I've never seen them. I mean, is Dr. Minister that afraid that he is going to lose the next election?
I think it goes beyond him losing the next election. I think he's afraid that he's going to lose his position as leader of the Free National Movement. Before you go on, somebody put on here a Facebook comment from Bertha says, "Why is this emergency order still in place?" Well,
yeah,
from I was back in the other place. I did a show with C. Allen Johnson. We call it Political Chess Moves, where C. Allen Johnson broke down for us, and he's also done it here on GPS, where he broke down for us how this man is using this emergency order and will hold on to this this competent authority position, and will hold on to this as long as he can, ride it all the way into election if he could, to protect himself against revolt from within his own ranks.
But see, that is not just unconstitutional, if you ask me, but that's ungodly. Come on, man, Michelle. You in the Bahamas today, we cannot have people being allowed to be hijacking everything that is decent and proper in this country just because of their own selfish political interests.
It's all about getting back into power.
You see, I have no more regard for the integrity of the F&M party, even if there had been any in the first place. And I would give it credit by saying the people like Vaughn Miller, who had been there, and Reese Chipman and McAlpine and a few others, had brought credibility to that organization. But Michelle, I'm flabbergasted. That's the long and short of my point this morning. I am so glad so many various interests did stand with the DNA on Monday, because as one person rightly said, today for me, or today for you, tomorrow for me. So it is always good that we Bahamians stand up with each other when we're being oppressed and discriminated against like this, because we got to form a stronger bond in this country based on being Bahamians than we've ever done before. Because from the time Dr. Minnis came into power, he was showing himself to have been a hypocrite. Look at the day with Prescott, man, Michelle.
On that note, I want you to picture this. Imagine if this was the Progressive Liberal Party in power now, and you had all of the resignations that have taken place under the Minnis administration.
Right.
All of the, resignations and, the people are trying to revolt against his leadership and calling into question, what do you call it? What Loretta Butler Turner was able to convince her fellow colleagues to do, vote of no confidence, all of that.
Yes.
Imagine if this was the Progressive Liberal Party in power, and all of what has taken place in terms of his own people turning against him had taken place. What do you think the masses would be saying?
Michelle, you and I know exactly right now.
As you know, we like to beat the PLP with the corruption stick.
Yeah.
And so the first thing we would hear is, oh, you see, that's corruption. They corrupt. That's why all the people resigning. That's why they try. So as I always say, we need to stop pretending that the PLP has a monopoly on corruption.
Obviously, the PLP doesn't. The F&M, see, the PLP was wrong as to why it got kicked out. It did a lot of wrong.
Of course.
Under Mr. Christie's leadership.
Of course.
But Dr. Minnis, And the way he's behaving is making Mr. Christie smell like a rose.
Quiet boy. Making him
A
look like a
dirty
quiet
rose,
boy.
a rotten rose, a spoiled rose, nonetheless, Mr. Christie would have been. But the wrongs that Mr. Christie have done are pale in comparison with what Dr. Minnis is doing.
Let's look at let's look at how this whole thing started. When I say this whole thing, all of the questionable behavior that's taken place under this administration. Let's go back to Oban.
Yeah.
And that signing.
Mm-hmm.
You and your cabinet could sit there and knowingly have this man sign a name that is not his own to an official document, and there's nothing to be said about that. And then when it is revealed by the media that this is what has taken place, that there's fraud going on within the cabinet by allowing that to happen, and then the paperwork is going to disappear from the office of the prime minister, no less.
See,
and not a word.
Michelle, on that example, a lot.
What if that was the PLP? What would have been said then?
Hey, resign and call new elections. I certainly wouldn't call it. Michelle, I didn't say it then because I'm just now seeing it as clearly in my mind now when you put that point. But honestly, that was the point in time for Dr. Minnis himself to have resigned as Prime Minister and for the F&M cabinet to have been shuffled or dissolved or whatever the case, because the whole government machine their party was directly or indirectly involved with supporting corruption when that Oban deal was executed as it had been. Whose political head got disappeared because of that? Dr. Minnis is still Prime Minister, and he's the one that signed on to the thing. Come on, man. I mean, they campaign against corruption,
and then come in and conducting a master class.
And immediately, Oban was what, 5-6 months or so after they was put in power.
Very early on in the game.
They didn't see. You know what I'm convinced of, Michelle. The Minnis administration came in knowing that they were going to be doing all of the wrongs that they're doing. Michelle, this could not have been an innocent move that just simply happened to have gone wrong. Something behind the scenes had to have been in play when they got into power as to why they unraveled so quickly. And getting back to the DNA, right now, God bless the DNA. Yes, I'm a supporter of the DNA, but if this was the Constitutional Party or the BDM or any other of these alternative parties out there, I would have been just as much in support of them right now, because in principle, what was done to them was wrong by Dr. Minnis and his administration. And I personally believe.
Yeah, the police, the commissioner of police say he ain't taking no instructions from nobody.
But see, I like Paul Rowe. I believe he's an honest man. But on this one, I cannot support him. I honestly believe that this was orchestrated by Dr. Minnis himself. I have no proof, so I am accusing him. So my gut feeling is telling me that Dr. Minnis was behind this, because you can't have the DNA being deprived of permission to have a motorcade, and yet the same week or whenever the FNM having that very same motorcade, and there's nothing fishy behind it. You can't tell me ain't nothing fishy and from the top. Come on, man, let's get rid of this competent authority nonsense. Because with all due respect to the Prime Minister, he is not behaving nowhere near at all close to being competent. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you for calling. Lord of mercy. Okay. I want to talk about the statement that Marvin Dames made to the media about why Komalafi and her crew were arrested. And he makes some statement about, what should happen, because these people are broken the law. And in essence, what he said was that, they injured police officers in their attempt to overrun the House of Assembly. Now, that's some very, very, very serious charges. Because when I hear about somebody trying to overrun a House of Parliament, I think of what just recently took place in the United States when Trump supporters, tried to take over and actually killed police officers and injured others with weapons. When I hear about overrunning a parliament, that's what I think of. When I hear about somebody trying to overrun a parliament, I think of what took place in Trinidad and Tobago many years ago when a faction stormed their House of Parliament with weapons and actually shot members of Parliament. I think of that kind of thing, right? Now, Marvin Dames, who you can't tell me he don't know no better because Marvin Dames is a former lawman himself. Marvin Dames is going to get up and say, what do you expect to happen? They injured police officers in their attempt to overrun Parliament. That's what he put out there, right? Now, here's the thing. In this Bahamas, the police has beat you down just for talking to them hard. Okay, let me rephrase that. We just heard the recording the other day that the young man recorded in the police station when his friend was being beaten up by the police officer, allegedly, even though we hear it on tape, right? So, you mean to tell me that these people in green injured police officers tried to take over Parliament and they was walking around for 3 weeks? Delton, let's go to that clip, please. Eyewitness News did a report about this because their reporters were on the scene when the whole thing went down out there, and they recorded everything. And they did a recent report on the news to say, okay, let's revisit what actually happened out there. Let's play that clip. I think it's clip number 1.
Public debate continues over whether the arrest of the DNA leader and 8 of her party members were justified 3 weeks after the incident in question occurred, many not sitting well with the responses from officials.
The Commissioner of Police answers to the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I do not take instructions from politicians.
We are a constitutional democracy. That means that everybody is subject to the rule of law, and the appropriate agency to investigate any alleged breach of the law is the police.
The DNA would have applied for permits before. Nothing happened. They were never arrested. And I don't know if they would have been arrested if they had not decided to force their way and injured officers in the process to take over Parliament. Are we saying then that the commissioner should ignore that?
After yesterday's comments, the Democratic National Alliance members, some of which were arrested, came back today to plead their case.
We demand that he either produce the evidence that these police officers were injured, produce the evidence of us attempting to overrun Parliament, because right now we have in one of the democracies right to our north, we have people who are being prosecuted for really overrunning the Capitol building, the government building, the seat of power in their country.
Now, the incident in question unfolded here on Parliament Square on March 3rd. Eyewitness News was there from the very beginning as the group traveled down Bay Street. Here's a playback of what happened that day.
Police alerted media on scene covering the taxi protest that DNA members were making their way down Bay Street. Police can be seen directing cars to turn off as members take up one side of the road. But as you've heard from officials, the concern is the attempts by the group to get into ongoing Parliament proceedings. Chanting, "PM, you have to go," the group made a turn to face the door of the House. Police can be seen standing in front of the stairs, directing the crowd to disperse. Then a barricade was formed, later escorting them to the other side of the road.
Okay. So clearly, if Eyewitness News reporters had footage, because they were there the whole time, if they had footage of police officers being injured, you best believe, Paul, I need you to turn your radio down, please. You best believe that would have been top story on the news. That the DNA tried to overtake Parliament and injured police officers in the process. Ain't no news agency worth their salt would have ignored that. That would have been headline news, right? But in any event, just in case the cameraman was looking someplace else and the reporter was looking someplace else when these officers were injured, just in case that was the case, 3 weeks, 21 days, 3 weeks pass by, and you ain't arrest these people who injuring your officers, who try to take over the seat of power in our country. You should resign as commissioner of police if it could take you 3 weeks to arrest people of such serious crimes. You should resign. The Minister of National Security should resign, because you're running a tuck shop. Because according to you, people injure police officers, try to take over our seat of power, and you let them walk around for 3 weeks. You don't think this a game, mate? I am so tired of these people insulting my intelligence. Caller, go ahead. You on the show.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Yes. Michelle, I need you because I need to talk to you about these products. What's your number? I can call you.
Man, okay. Send a WhatsApp message to 805-6430. 805-6430, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So yeah, man. Yeah, y'all really think people stupid. And what is you know, Marvin is my friend, you know. What is bothering me with Marvin? He won't come with attitude. He won't come with this haughty attitude like what you expect us to do. And Marvin, boy, sit small. What you believe this is? You think it's me some little children you talking to? Y'all gotta stop the madness. Stop the madness, please. Because I right now feel like Alice who fall down the rabbit hole and be walking around in Wonderland. I looking all around me for the Mad Hatter. Because this got to be La La Land. This got to be Alice in Wonderland. This can't be reality we in. You all think people stupid? Where is the evidence of any police officers being arrested? Where? And then they can turn around and say the video evidence supports this. And I'm like, you realize people could see video, right? You realize that I have my own 2 eyes and I could watch video and see, right? I mean, I'm flabbergasted. For you to fix your mouth. And you ain't no dumb man. But you think I dumb. Y'all gotta stop this madness, Marvin. Come on, man. If I injure a police officer in this Bahamas, you know by the time I make the bank lane shuffle, I can be limping in that court, right? Let's be real now. You know I can limp in that court, right? I ain't walking in there on my own volition. I can limp in there. I injure a whole police officer. I try to take over the seat of power in this country, and you let me walk around for 3 weeks. All y'all need to resign because you ain't doing your job. Because clearly, for anybody to do that, they're a threat to our democracy. You can't let them walk around. You ain't know what they can do next. They need to be behind bars. For 3 weeks, you let them people walk around, and people who are trying to take over the House of Assembly and injuring police officers, and you let them walk around for 3 weeks? Y'all need to resign. If it take you 3 weeks to figure out that was a crime, you ain't know how to do your job, buddy. You need to go. So it's either that or you stop taking me for fool. Stop insulting my intelligence. Come up with something else, but don't come with that. I am so sick of the games these people playing. Y'all got to stop the madness. This is madness. This is madness. And what really bothers me is these political cronies who, because their party in power, they can't see no wrong with these people doing. I asked the same question that I asked earlier in the show. What if this was the PLP doing these things? Y'all would have been calling for their neck to get popped. Hang them. They too corrupt. But now your party doing the same thing, and you can't see no wrong. And you wonder why this Bahamas is in the condition it's in. Because you putting your party politics in front of everything. While our democracy is going to hell in a handbasket. Y'all just make me mad, man. Y'all, these people just run me out, man. I don't want y'all to think, all right, I just get a little passionate every now and again. I just get a little passionate. But they got to stop the foolishness, man. They got to stop the foolishness. If you want to do what you want to do it, but don't insult my intelligence and try to convince me that urine is red. I know that's urine. So don't be trying to convince me that's rain. I stupid. Anyhow, let me read a couple of y'all comments. Because, child, you mind these people? They'll cause your blood pressure rise. I want y'all to know mine good, though. I got no trouble with my blood pressure. Don't mind me getting a little passionate as I speak. Okay, so let me read a couple of your comments. Bertha says, only F&M cronies or who getting grease with our hard-earned tax dollars can't see nothing wrong with ministers is doing. They think Bahamians are stupid, but the joke is on them. All right, let's see. Let's see. Carolyn says, you can tell the truth all you want, but these devils have no shame in their action. My Lord, what a time. Stacy says, exactly, Lady Malcolm. How incompetent are police officers to allow a crime to be committed in their presence and not enforce an arrest on such a serious crime? Injuring police officers. See, because, my belief is this. If you're stupid enough to go up against the police and put your hand on the police, you look for what you get. Right? You look for that. Now, y'all may say that's, barbaric or whatever, but if you're stupid enough to put your hand on the police, you look for what you get. Now, these people, according to the Minister of National Security, put their hand on the police. They injure police officers. Now, maybe, I just thought of something. Maybe the police was scared to retaliate against them injuring police officers because of that recent recording. That's must see what happened. They must say, well, we can't react, Delton, because, they done got us on tape beating up that boy, allegedly, in the police station. So if we put couple on Kamalafi, if we put couple on her, yeah. Oh, now I understand. Oh, okay. I a little slow, Sometimes I feel a little slow. Take me a little while to get it. Maybe that's why. Yeah, they wait 3 weeks. That's what happened, y'all. Yeah, they know that recording was out there when the boy gets slapped up, right? So they must say, okay, let's not put our hand on them now for injuring police officers because it's a little hot right now. So let's give them a little 3 weeks to think everything cool. Then we gonna go pick them up. Y'all better stop the madness. Y'all full of jokes. Y'all full of jokes. Y'all ain't serious? Okay, let me Let me read a couple more. OMG. Jan says, escorted to the other side of the road before or after the beat up. Child, Jan, I know. But all I know is what I see on the news. And that didn't look like nobody's trying to overrun nothing to me. You know, they come out there, they make plenty noise in front of the House Assembly door. The police escort them across the road, but they was trying to overrun Parliament. Really, Marvin? Really? Stacy says, Marvin Dames has lost all credibility. I think she meant to say credibility from. He said that nothing was wrong with Mr. Ash to run into court like Usain Bolt rather than being shackled and escorted to court like everyone else. Child, what good for the goose in this country ain't good for the gander. You only figured that out yet? The rules don't apply to everybody the same way. The rules do not apply to everybody the same way. Paul Miller says, laugh out loud, a tuck shop government. Child, again, I apologize to all tuck shop operators and owners because, yeah, that's an insult to you all. So I apologize. I take that back. Because you're all running business. These jokers. I know what you call this. Bertha says, Marvin have a don't care attitude. They are all power struck. And see what these politicians have to realize, right? Life goes on after your political career. So if you do irreparable damage to your reputation now, if you show yourself to be a complete joker now, somebody who is totally dishonest now, that could follow you into your life after politics. You can't sell your soul just to stay in power because you ain't gonna be in power forever, and we don't forget. And I don't understand people who otherwise are good people who will allow themselves to be put in these positions just for the sake of politics. Come on, man. Sarah says, Dames can't sit small because his pants too tight. Sarah, you wrong. Delta, she wrong for that. You wrong, Sarah. You wrong. Now take that back. You wrong. That's not nice. Boy, Dora Jack says Marvin has been a huge disappointment. Marvin is I remember as a reporter, many scenes, murder scenes, and then 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, when the police call me and say, Malcolm, we got another one. I got to get out of my bed, go to these scenes. Marvin was there. Marvin was a hard-working officer. That's how I got to know him. Hard-working. Putting in long hours trying to fight crime. And now you're going to let these people have you talking foolishness? Come on, man, Marvin. You better than that. You better than that, man. Come on. Oh, Lord, I tell you. Let's see who else I can. Carolyn says, who you gonna believe? Me or your 2 eyes? That's up to me. We see the video for ourselves. But they telling us what we see. In this country, you assault a whole police officer and walk around for 3 weeks in this Bahamas? Yeah, right. Pamela says, you will be dead. You will not make it to court. You will be in the morgue. My God. Paul says, thanks for the laugh, Sister Michelle. I needed that. Man, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So nice. We gotta laugh. We gotta laugh. Otherwise, we'll anyhow. Jan, but the DNA march was broadcasted by the DNA as a live Facebook feed. So obviously they wouldn't be trying to break the law while they show in the world their own live feed. And Veronica, I'll take one more, then I'll go to the break. Veronica says, so Michelle, where's the outcry in this matter from the opposition? Why are they so quiet? Veronica, things that make you go, One more. Janet says, these political cronies are the worst. We are at a point where persons are calling evil good and good evil. My God, ain't that something? Anyhow, y'all, I can take a break. On the other side of the break, and if y'all want to still talk about this, we can talk about this a little bit more. But on the other side of the break, I want to talk about political math. Because, I learned one kind of math in school, right? And I ain't gonna lie. Math was never my strong point. I get beaten in primary school for failing in maths. Okay, I was never good at math. Not my thing. But I still know 1 and 1 is 2 and 2 and 2 is 4. I know the basics. And I know when things ain't adding up. So we can talk about political math on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Best dress, hats off, looking like I walked out of catalog. Everybody wanna know where I got it from. Catwalk, 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 boutique, where we make fashion statements. Catwalk, boutique, where we make fashion statements.
For the latest styles in women's clothing and accessories, visit Catwalk Boutique on Robertson Road East at the Helron Plaza. At Catwalk Boutique, we make fashion statements.
Horton's Car Rental and Auto Sales, Robinson Road and 5th Street, The Grove, is your premium choice for affordable transportation. We have reliable cars at unbelievable prices. Ask about our daily rates, starting at $50, and our weekly rates, starting as low as $280. Call us at 437-4017 or 676-3977. Horton's Car Rental, your premium choice for affordable transportation.
Looking for an extraordinary junior high school with caring, qualified staff and affordable tuition? Then come visit us at Elite School of Excellence, an affiliate of First Step Academy. ABECA-focused and Ministry of Education approved, we foster discipline, integrity, and wisdom while molding our students for success. Call us at 341-8846 or stop by First Step Academy Schools on Fire Trail and Soldy Roads for more information. Escape from the city life to Bacon Air Beach Resort in Pirateswell, Mayaguana. Relax in one of 16 air-conditioned rooms just steps away from the ocean. Enjoy scrumptious dishes in our waterfront dining room. Sip on a tropical cocktail, or if you must, stay connected with wireless internet. Nestled on one of the most beautiful beaches in the Bahamas, Bacon Air Beach Resort offers a unique vacation experience. For reservations, call 339-3726 or 463-0182.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. It's Friday, so it's TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. You remember that song, Friday? Da, da, da. Thank God it's Friday. Y'all remember that song, right? Anyway, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. This is an open line show today, and so we would love to hear from you and hear more about what you think are the issues that concern us today. Let me read a couple of your text messages. I don't want to ignore our texters. This text says, "Morning, Michelle. Donald Trump thought he was above the law as well. And you see what happened to him. So it's just a matter of time for human minutes and this lousy government." Okay, that's a text. Another one says, what a time. They will say that the medical reports took 3 weeks. That's the best that I can do. Boy, Dexter, you might be onto something there. Another text says, Michelle, it's amazing how certain crimes are enforced by our police. The forgery and stolen file in the Oban case is overlooked and never investigated. But the DNA, they actually arrest people for a protest violation. What kind of foolishness is this? Okay. And as far as some of your comments on Facebook are concerned, Stacy says, it wasn't until after Komalafi stood with those prison officers who protested that she was summoned to the police station and then incarcerated. That's an interesting observation. Let's see what else you guys have had to say. Let's see. Oswald says, until Bahamians become loyal to the uplifting of each other and not to party, the politicians will always continue this type of behavior. Unfortunately, you are right. Pamela says, Marvin owes us an apology. Child, Pam, don't hold your breath waiting for that. Dang happen. Bertha says, because no crime was committed. This is a Pinocchio government. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord. Stacy says, laugh out loud, Lady Malcolm, you're a hot mess. Man, I only calling a spade, Stacy. I only calling it like I see it. That's all. So Jason says, the police themselves said the DNA acted very peacefully. Yeah, they peacefully assaulted officers, injured officers. They did that peacefully. Jokers, bunch of jokers. Let's see. So Sarah's apologizing. Good girl. Sarah says, I apologize. Sorry for what I said. That's what Sarah said. Okay, so Sylvie says, I'm not surprised and extremely disappointed in Mr. Dames. Years ago, I was kidnapped, and although they caught one of the guys, we always felt the police were involved because the way the matter was handled. He was released on bond, which he skipped. And 10 years, the Attorney General's office visited me on my job to find out boyfriend was in Eleuthera and was asking me if I still wanted to press charges. Go figure. Wow. 10 years? Wow. Oh, boy. Okay. Bertha says, the opposition better be quiet if they want to campaign, unless minutes will find a reason to lock them up, too. And Janet says, Michelle, what do you think about all the third parties uniting together, putting aside egos and personal agendas to better the nation? Well, I know one thing. In my personal opinion, there's too many fringe parties. Too many. And if you all stay separated, you all can get a bunch of no votes. Because Bahamian people ain't got time to waste. I do believe that if there were a viable third option, then they could give these folks a run for their money. Because people tired of both F&M and PLP. But I think people have to be convinced that there's a viable third option. So, Sarah says they were insulted, not assaulted. They got it wrong. You know what, Sarah? Maybe when he was given his report, the commissioner of police did say our officers were insulted. And maybe he said it so fast. No, we all need to stop being so wicked. Stop. Because the commissioner said he does not take instructions from any politician. So when the police officers were reporting to the commissioner, maybe they say insulted, and he took it to mean assaulted. And I don't know. Anyhow, moving right along. Okay, so I want to talk about political math. Because I was never no good math student. I ain't gonna lie. Thank God for calculator, right? Because, math was always a challenge for me. I was always much better at language and writing and that kind of stuff. That's my strength. I'm very, very good at that. But I was never a good math student. Never, ever, ever. But there were some basics that I learned. I did learn that 1 and 1 is 2. And I did learn that 2 and 2 are 4. And I did learn that 4 plus 4 is 8. I learned the basics. So when I heard our Minister of Health say the other day that we will be achieving herd immunity by the summer of this year, I was trying to figure out how he came to that conclusion. And I can pull out my calculator for this one, right? So let's say we have a population of 400,000 people. And they say to acquire herd immunity, you need between 70 to 80% of persons within your population who have either been vaccinated or who have the antibodies because they've been exposed to the COVID virus, right? So let's go low. 70% of 400,000 people is 280,000 people, right? 280,000 people. Now, this first batch of vaccine that they have was 20,000, right? Okay. So that leaves us with 260,000 people. And then they paid for, I think, what, 100,000? Was it 100,000 they paid for? I think so. Okay, so let's say 100,000. That leaves us with 160,000 people to get to herd immunity. Now, we already hear where there are some concerns that the people in India say they're holding up on exports because they got to take care of their own people first, right? So they're slowing down on exports, right? So there's some concern as to where the rest of these vaccines coming from. Now, I know now the WHO has approved Johnson & Johnson vaccinations and saying that they're going to acquire some of those to distribute to their people, right? So, but that still leaves us with 160,000 people who will need to be either vaccinated. Oh, I forgot. I got to take away from that number the 8,700 people who have the antibodies because they've been exposed. So that leaves us at 151,300 people, right? Now, let's say between now and summer, another 1,000 people contract the virus and get the antibodies, right? That leaves us with 150,300 people, right? Now, let's say that there are about 20,000 people out there who didn't even know they had it, but had it. Because, you know, there's a lot of people, and I've been real generous with these numbers. No, 20 is too high. Let's say another 8,000 people, right, in the Bahamas had the virus and didn't even realize they had it. And so they have the antibodies. So let's round that off to 10,000, right? So take away another 10,000. So that leaves us with 140,300 people short of herd immunity. So for those of you out there who are good at math, because, you know, math was never my strong point. Thank God for calculator. But according to this calculator, what I have here, that leaves us with 140,300 people who will need to be either exposed to COVID or vaccinated to have herd immunity. So how the minister arrived to this conclusion that by the summer, we will have herd immunity? Anybody could answer that for me, please? Am I missing something? And yes, Sylvie, you're right. Was it Sylvie who said that? No, Carolyn says, don't forget that the 2 shots are needed for the present vaccine. Yes, but I'm assuming that they, instead of giving people 2 shots, because that's going to make the numbers even worse, that they can just give everybody 1 shot and then hope they get the next in time to get them a 2nd shot. So let's assume that. But you're right. That'll make the numbers even worse. So I need somebody who is very good at math to explain to me how the Minister of Health can make the determination now in March that by the summer we will have acquired herd immunity. What does he know that he's not telling us? What does he know? Because 1 and 1 still make 2. 2 and 2 still make 4. 4 and 4 still make 8. 8 and 8 still make 16. 16 still make 32. What does he know that we don't know? What are they not telling us? Because there's got to be more information that we just are not aware of, how he could determine that by the summer, we will have herd immunity. You know, you see, It is these kinds of things that really, really add credence to the argument that people are making that this thing, the response to this thing, has not been scientific, has not been based on science, but has been based on something else. Because how you could say that we will have herd immunity by this summer, that's the anticipation. How you come to that conclusion? Based on what? Based on the time frame that you all need for the next election? Or based on science? Delton, you can explain it to me, please? Delton said he can't explain it. I want one of y'all explain it to me, please. So might be somebody out there who's good at math. Because I admit, I'm very bad at math. That's why I pull out my calculator. I ain't trying to do it in my head because I'd have been here all day trying to figure that out, right? Because math ain't my thing. So if one of y'all are there smart in maths and could explain this for me to understand, I need somebody to please explain this to me. How does this work? Is your prediction that we will have achieved herd immunity by the summer based on science or based on the timetable for the next election? I'm tired of telling y'all to stop insulting my intelligence. I stupid and I dumb. And even though math saying my strength, I got calculator. And all I got to do is punch in the numbers on that calculator, and it is calculate all the things I needed to calculate. So make it make sense for me, please. Because right now, this ain't making no sense. All right, I need somebody to explain this to me. Doesn't need nobody explaining it? Let me see what some of y'all comments saying on here. Stacy is asking about if the beaches will remain open or closed. I think the thing that was being spread on social media, that somebody was being facetious and took an old post from last year and tried to make it seem it was for this year. There's been no changes as it relates to that. So I think for now, you guys are good. Okay, let's see. Janet says, Michelle, can you find out if it's true that the government may have intentions to implement a policy that if you aren't vaccinated, you won't be allowed to cast your vote? They wouldn't be so stupid to try that. They wouldn't be so stupid to try that. They're looking to get run if they try that. I will look into it, but I can't believe that that is true. I mean, I know these fellas bowl and thing, but I can't believe that they would go that far. I can't see that being true. Okay. Raquel says, wow, that's wicked. Are we going backward? Child, Raquel, y'all better wake up and smell the coffee here. Carolyn says 1 and 1 makes 11. Yeah. That's a different kind of maths. I call it political maths. That's what you call this one. It's a different kind of math. You know, you got all kind of different forms of math, right? This one is political math. Oh boy, Sylvie says he is talking for the sake of hearing himself. No, man, you can't. When you're in positions of authority like that, you can't be talking just to hear yourself. You got to make sense. What you say need to make sense. All right, let's see. Okay, Pamela, I don't understand what you mean. No, he did not. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh, you're referring to a statement earlier by Kay. That's Kai. Kay says, Pamela Williams, I didn't see anything about him addressing the nation. Okay, I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all talking back and forth. And Bertha says, see, Miss Malcolm, that's why I love your show. Very informative. And plus the truth live here. Bertha, you know, you ain't got to be a rocket scientist to see something ain't right. All you got to do is open your eyes. What amazes me with this crew, they like to come and spew foolishness out of their mouth. And just because they say it, they expect you to buy it. When they know that all you got to do is have half a brain to just think about what they say, and you realize, hold on now, wait, this ain't making no sense. Y'all don't believe me? Y'all pull out y'all calculator and y'all figure that out. 70 to 80% of the population having antibodies is what is considered herd immunity. 70 to 80%. We got a population of about 400,000. So you work out what 70 to 80% of 400,000 is, and then tell me how we can be there by summer. When we can't get in a timely manner the vaccines what we done pay for. I know maybe they're expecting somebody else to be generous. Oh, maybe they can take advantage of all them AstraZeneca vaccines what America giving away. Maybe that's what it is. There's some information somewhere that clearly we are not privy to. And I just wish that the Minister of Health would share that information with the rest of us so we could have some comfort that he ain't talking stupidness. Because right now, from where I sit, he talking stupidness. Because the numbers ain't adding up. So, yeah, Minister, I would really appreciate it. You ain't got to do it for me, because I know y'all don't care about me too much. But for the rest of the population, for the rest of the people who y'all say y'all, you know, it's their time. I need y'all to please explain to us, using numbers and science, how we can get to herd immunity by this summer. It would be wonderful. Listen, I wish he was right. That would be wonderful. I just wonder how we can get there. Looking at the numbers. Just looking at the numbers. What he know that we don't know. And if he has some information about how this can happen, I would think that he would be glad to share that. That's something that they should run to share. So, Minister, please explain to us how we can get to herd immunity by this summer. I would really appreciate it. If not for me, for your constituents. The people of the Bahamas, who you all say is their time. Explain to us, please. How are we going to achieve herd immunity by this summer, looking at the numbers? I would be most appreciative if you could explain that to us. Alton. Alton says, man, you forget to carry the one. Oh, that's what it is, eh? Well, my calculator must he forget, because I do not obey it. My calculator do the calculating. That's why I use that. Because it was up to me calculating, and I might have forget to carry something. But the calculator, calculate that, Alton. So, yeah. An explanation, please, sir. Please explain to us how we can get to herd immunity by this summer. Because this, the end of March. You ain't got too much time to get there. So I would really appreciate it, and I'm sure others would appreciate it as well, if you could explain to us, Minister Wells, how you came to the conclusion that we will have herd immunity by this summer, based on science and the numbers. I'm appealing on behalf of the Bahamian people for you to please come and explain that to us. We would really appreciate it. Because if you could pull that off, well, praise the Lord. God is good. We just want to know how. Ja Troy says, the minister maybe is being slick, but I think we have already reached a level of herd immunity that is growing, and that's why the deaths are minimal now. Also based on the fact that the virus has been loose on us and spreading since November 2019, although all through, the Christmas into January and February, until we finally started reacting to the news of a novel coronavirus. Most of us have had a battle or two with a few of these coronaviruses. Think about it. Well, you know, maybe the numbers of persons who have already contracted this is, I do believe it's much higher than what's been reported, because people probably didn't even realize they had it. Just thought it was a little, you know, a little flu or something. So I do believe that the numbers of persons who have been exposed to this are a lot higher than the 8,700 who are in the system, who have been reported in the system. But is it to the tune of 100 and how many people I said was left? 150,000 people? So have 150,000 Bahamians had this and we didn't know about it? Or more vaccines from someplace else that we don't know about? I just want to know how they come to the conclusion. See, because these people have a very bad habit of saying things and expecting us to just buy it hook, line, and sinker. And if they figure if you say it long enough, then it's true. Or at least you'll convince us that it's true because you keep saying it. People ain't stupid. Stop the madness. So please, Minister, I'd really appreciate an explanation as to how we're going to get to herd immunity by this summer. How we can get there. All right, let's see. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the issues of the day facing our country on this Open Line Friday.
Ocean blue is the best in seafood, hey, hey. Fresh out the water and affordable too, yeah. We got fish, conch, lobster, shrimp, everything you want. Ocean blue got it. Ocean blue friendly and clean, best service you ever seen. Ocean blue is the best in seafood. Fresh out the water and affordable too, hey. Ocean blue seafood, we are here for you. Ocean blue seafood, no one else will do. Ocean Blue Seafood, located on Burnett Road. Contact us at 393-2160.
Want to look your best and feel even better? Visit J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa for the ultimate beauty, body, and anti-aging treatments, offering custom colors, haircuts, vegan anti-freeze treatments, silk blowouts, natural and acrylic nails, unisex pedicures, facials and massages, all waxing services, and microcurrent therapies for anti-aging and body sculpting. J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madeira Street, telephone 326-7863.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And welcome back to GP for Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. And today is Friday, so that means that we're having an open line show today, talking about the week that was. And before I dive into the next topic, unless you guys want to call in, our number is 828-3543. 828-3543 is the number to call, and the text line is 828-2543. 828-2543 is the text line. So go ahead and give us a call, send us a text, or you can put a comment here on Facebook, and we will read a couple of your comments, which I'm about to do so right now. So let's see. Stacy says, I believe in herd immunity as well, the same way we have developed it for the yearly flu. This is no different. I believe that we've reached herd immunity already, the same way most of us have already contracted COVID-19 unknowingly and have gotten rid of it. All right. Let's see. Clarence says, if the virus was so deadly, Bahamians would have been wiped out by now. It is deadly. It's just deadly for whom? People who have comorbidities are more at risk than others. But if you have a functioning immune system, as I've been saying, your immune system works well, then you will be able to fight this thing off. And maybe one of the millions of people around the world who had it and didn't even realize that they did. Okay. Tracy says, the WHO reports that having the antibodies after being infected only keeps you immune for about 3 months. However, this conflicts with what they once stated, that you could not be reinfected. That's why they're using the antibodies from blood of persons who were already infected. Okay. All right. So another thing I want to talk about, guys, is that BPC, Bahamas Petroleum Company, is saying that they are looking to continue oil exploration in the Bahamas for another 3 years. The company is seeking to renew 4 out of 5 exploration licenses covering 4 million acres in Bahamian waters. Bahamas Petroleum Company, and this is a report that I'm reading from Eyewitness News Online, says that Bahamas Petroleum Company said yesterday that while its first exploration well did not result in the discovery of commercial quantities of oil in the Bahamas, it intends to exercise its right to renew 4 of its licenses, which will allow for another 3-year period for oil exploration. The day that following the completion of the Perseverance #1 well and the promising technical results, it has had a number of discussions with industry counterparties in relation to a potential farm out of their remaining Bahamas licenses. BPC holds 5 exploration licenses covering approximately 4 million acres. 4 of the licenses, referred to as the southern licenses, are located in the southern territorial waters where Perseverance 1 was drilled, and the 5th, the Miami license, is in northern territorial waters. In early February, BPC reported that drilling had ceased on the Perseverance #1 well, with the well permanently plugged and abandoned after commercial quantities of oil were not found. The newly acquired technical data will facilitate valuable updates and refinements to the process of exploration and subsequent production of oil in the region, BPC said. As a result, the company is working to formalize and launch an entirely new farm out process. The farm out will seek to introduce a funding operating partner for the next stage of exploration activity in the Bahamas. The company is in the final stages of integrating the well information with its historical data set and expects to commence the farm out process upon completing this work in the coming days. The company added, although the Perseverance #1 well did not result in a commercial discovery, the company is encouraged by the presence of hydrocarbons. It is one single exploration well on a structure more than double the size of New Providence, and its licenses that cover 3 million acres. Data derived from Perseverance #1 provides an opportunity for a modern-day recalibration of existing mapping across the whole license area. Importantly, the technical results from the drilling campaign support the view that other structures and deeper exploration plays, in particular those rocks of Jurassic age, continue to provide significant prospectivity with multiple viable drillable prospects of scale, which merit additional study and exploration activity across the entire extent company's license areas. And BBC further noted that it intends to exercise its right to renew the 4 southern licenses into a third exploration period at the end of the current second exploration period at the end of June 2021. Okay, guys, what do you think about that? What are your thoughts on that? Do you believe that this is an opportunity now for the Prime Minister to put his money where his mouth is, because he says that he's against drilling? So what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to use the same excuse that they used to extend the agreement to allow that drilling that took place? Do you think that they're going to use that same argument as to why they have to continue to allow this to happen? What are your thoughts? Are you concerned that if they allow this to continue to happen, that we're in for catastrophe as it relates to our environment? I'm just concerned that we've seen time and time again where the benefits derived from such agreements do not warrant the risk involved. And I'm not very confident as I sit here in this seat that the best interests of the people of the Bahamas were the consideration. Because had that been the case, I dare say that a more reputable company would have been sought, who has extensive experience in drilling for oil, would have been sought to be the partner with which the government pursued the drilling of oil in the Bahamas. I think it's laughable that you would expect us to believe that you had the best interests of the Bahamian people at heart. And when I say you, I talk into both administrations, PLP and FNM. Whoever signed this deal, that you had the best interests of the people at heart when you're going to sign a deal with a company that really had limited knowledge about what they plan to do in our waters. When you have so many other more reputable companies out there with vast experience who would have potentially given you a better deal, because we see the deals that they have with other countries around the world. And then you have to wonder why the deal that was agreed here in the Bahamas was such a poor deal. When I say poor deal, I mean where we, negotiating like, definitely not like a boss, but like, I mean, it's just, oh, Lord, help us in this country. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you. The telephone number to call is 828-3543. 828-3543 is the number to call. And the text line is 828-2543. 828-2543 is the number to call. Should these people be allowed to continue this exploration, as they say, is their right to do so? And if it is their right, what kind of agreement was signed that makes it their right, as opposed to being more important than the rights of the Bahamian people to continue to enjoy the environment that we enjoy? And see, this is where, again, that Freedom of Information Act is so important, because I am just so tired of living in a country where these governments who have, these administrations, I should say, who have time and time again showed themselves to be incompetent as it relates to negotiation of major deals. They really are the worst. And yet they go ahead and they make these agreements on behalf of the Bahamian people without any knowledge being shared with us. And by the time they decide to come and tell us what they want to tell us, then we realize, mother's sick. This what y'all negotiate on our behalf? This? But by then, you tied in legally. And something got to be wrong with that picture. Where we allow these people to continue to make these agreements in the dark that we have to be tied to. And when it comes to light, what all has been agreed, everybody pointing finger at the next one, talking about, well, it's their fault because they started it. Well, you don't have to extend it, so it's your fault. And everybody pointing finger at the next one. And meanwhile, it's the Bahamian people who hold in the bag. The madness has to stop. We really got to stop the madness. So you know what, maybe that's a future show. I would love to hear what are our legal rights as it relates to the continuation of this drilling. What are our legal rights compared to their rights based on the contract that would have been signed? Do we have a choice in the matter? I would really like those questions answered. Let's see. I have a text that says, Renwood is the engineer, so he using the $800 calculator. Come on. Don't do it. Another one says, Michelle, they negotiate like Jonesers. Boy, I tell you. It's not good. It's not good, the negotiation skills. But yet, at the end of the day, we are being held hostage by those negotiation skills. We really, really have to push for this Freedom of Information Act deal, because we can't continue to go down the same road time and time and time again and be left whole in the bag when they make these stupid agreements that do not benefit the people as a whole, because they can negotiate. So what are our legal rights? What are our rights? Do they have a right to continue drilling based on the agreement that they have, or do they have to go back to the table? Can we force them to go back to the table, or just together and say we don't want you in our country? And if we decide that we want drilling to continue, do we have the right to not move forward with them and go to somebody who is more reputable and experienced in this field? Do we have that right? I can work on this for a future show, y'all. This sounds like a good show, because I really would like to know what our options are. And clearly we can't rely on the powers that be to tell us, because as far as they're concerned, you ain't need to know that. We tell you what you need to know. And that's not what. So yeah, I think I'm going to work on that. That sounds like that would be a decent show. All right, let me read a couple of your messages here. Let's see. Bertha says, the PM only mouth. He will do nothing about oil drilling. Well, I guess time will tell. Janet says, it warrants the risk for them because a select few will benefit from it. It's crazy for us to risk our waters to go into a dying industry when our mangroves and seagrass is worth more. Tracy says, they keep telling us it's a bad deal, but they would not table it so we could see it for ourselves. Okay, somebody was just calling, but the call dropped, so I need you to call back, please. 828-3543 is the number to call, 828-3543. Let's see. Stacy says, they negotiate poor deals for the country, but behind closed doors, they get big money. And Sylvie says, when will the country be run by a business person? In the past, they were attorneys. Now we have a doctor. Go figure. How can we ever get anywhere or anything done? All right. Tracy says, we need to see the deal. That would be a very interesting read, I'm sure. Christoph says, we're going to mess around and destroy our ecosystem. And Tracy says, that man is a con man. He made a killing before he drilled. Child, We got to demand more of our people. That's all I'm saying. We got to demand more of our leaders. Where have all of the statesmen gone? You know, when I was a junior reporter, we had some real statesmen in this country on both sides of the political divide who were truly passionate about the development of the Bahamas. They obviously didn't see eye to eye on how to get us there. So some had one philosophy, others had another philosophy. That's how the FNM got started, because of a disagreement, and members of the Progressive Liberal Party decided to break away from Pinling and start their own party. And that's how the Free National Movement got started. But, you know, it doesn't change the fact that we had statesmen on both sides of the political divide. And it was Carla, just give me a second. It was truly a pleasure to sit down and interview these men and women, a few women, about what they saw for this nation. They truly had a heart for this nation. When we look at who is presenting themselves now to run, when we look at who we have already in Parliament, you know, some of them leave a lot to be desired. Where are the statesmen? Where are the men and women who really are there for the advancement of the nation and not just for their own political gain? That's something I think we need to consider the next time somebody comes knocking on your door asking for you to support them in the next election. What is their vision for this country? Them personally. Are they a statesman? If not, why are you here? Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Ms. Malcolm. How are you?
Great. How you doing?
I'm right here. I'm a young man. I watch the show a lot. I really love your journalism. I just can't believe it. A lovely woman like you. I just wanted to call and ask you, do you think we're heading into a military state?
I don't think it will come to that, but I think that the competent authority is trying to get as close to it as he can get without it officially being a military state. And that's why some things are happening that are being allowed. That's why some things are being allowed to happen that are happening. That's why you see the police shutting people down for protesting and all this kind of stuff. But will we get to the point where we become a full-fledged military state? I don't think so. I pray not, but I don't think so.
I pray not myself, because I'm a young man in this country, and I can't wait for change. I always pray God for change in this country. But every day I see this power grows and this power grows. And I told my grandfather the same thing Hitler did. In sort of a way, you know, he took control of the military, took control of the police, all these emergency powers. You know, it was vested in him once. So I'm saying to myself, this is too much power for one man. You know, it can't corrupt.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
Corrupt.
I agree with you. But, you know, I do believe that he's holding on to this competent authority position because of his, you know, trying to hold on to political power, because there's a lot of infighting going on within the party. And he can't go to convention because, you know, once he go to convention, dog, he is lunch. So he's using his competent authority position. And C. Allen broke it down so simply for us to understand how he is going to ride this competent authority thing as long as he could, as close as he could get it to an election, so that he will not be challenged. And C. Allen broke it down so that you understand the dates where he has to get to, and also to ensure that he receives a pension as a former prime minister. So, yeah, but to say, are we going to become a military state? I can't see it happening, especially with us being so close to the United States. It is to their benefit that we continue to have a healthy democracy. They don't want any dictatorship right next door to them.
Someone just told me, not to interrupt you, someone just told me who worked in a cabinet of his. I have family members, and they said that he was planning to forcefully, and I don't know if it's true or not, I'm just speculating here, said that he was planning to give people the vaccines falsely or they can't vote. I say, how can he do that? How can he stop people from voting if they're not vaccinated? What type of I don't know what type of power that is.
No, I can't see him trying that. No. I wouldn't put past nothing them, but I can't see that them trying that.
And so my personal view of him and my listen to him and this man is an arrogant dictator. I've never met any prime minister like him in my life, in my years of growing up in the Bahamas.
Mm.
And he does not want to free his people. It's like, I don't know if he hates his own people. I don't know.
I don't think he hates his own people. He just loves himself more. He's just trying to hold on to power.
Wow, man. Malcolm, I don't know what to say about this man, you know. I know we as Bahamians back in the day, we all was loving and, you know, what happened to the Bahamas pilling bills? I'm only a 19-year-old man, and every day my grandpa talk about how he missed the days of pilling, the love, the excitement, you know, and when people could actually trust government, you know, those days are gone.
Long gone.
Ms. Malcolm, I just was happy to talk to you. You know, I'm a 19-year-old man, and I just love watching your show.
Thank you. You know, that means a lot to me because, you know, have the young people tuned in. That is a lot of encouragement. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you saying that.
Okay, Ms. Malcolm. Thank you. Have a good day.
And be encouraged, man.
Yes, ma'am.
Be encouraged. Don't lose hope. We can't afford to lose hope. We gotta keep up the fight and stand for what is right. And
I always try.
Yeah.
You know, I keep praying. You know, because you know, I don't have no control. I have no power myself. You know, I study a lot of political stuff and I do a lot of history and geography. That's my field. I love to be an intellectual person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to be ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people my age right now, they're ignorant. They don't even understand what's going on. They drinking, they partying, and the more I try to encourage them, they don't seem to actually understand. And see, I read something from Aristotle. Democracy only turns into tyranny if the people are uneducated, the people are ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I always laugh when I see government power grows daily, but we young people, or I say we people, don't understand the consequences of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your liberties are getting stripped, and the competent authority, or not even him, but his cabinet, the politicians, they only in there for themselves.
Mm.
You have to understand. No, not everybody corrupt, but those on high authority positions will use their power to turn it into tyranny.
Yeah.
We have seen it through history. And then in the Greek civilizations, democracy, look how that democracy followed when the people were so ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? So I pray that we stop being foolish to these parties, FNM, PLT. Even as a young man, I could see that.
Yeah.
You know, Miss Malcolm, man, they only using you people. They don't understand. I'm so hurt that the people of this country don't understand they're being used. 47 years now, they're being used.
Well, you know what? You are an encouragement. And my prayer is that there are more of the young people out there like you than we realize, who are thinking. And I honestly believe, I think that's what is going to make the difference in this next election. So we'll see what happens. But you keep on keeping on, man. Don't give up. You are an encouragement to me.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you, Miss Malcolm.
Thank you
Enjoy
so
your
much
show.
for calling. Thank you. And
Love you. Okay.
Love you too. That's a great note to end on. There's hope for our future when we got young people like that out there. So don't give up, young man. We need you not to give up. We need you to keep on keeping on. Because you're the future. You're the future. Wow, guys. What a week it was. I want to thank you all for being a part of GPS. Thank you all for sticking with me all the way to my 50th show. And I look forward to another 50 more and another 50 more after that and beyond. And we could not do it without you. It means nothing without you. So thank you to everyone who tunes in every day. I really appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Guys, be safe out there. Have a good weekend. And I will see you next week. Same place, same time for another exciting week of GPS Global Paradigm Shift. Have a good afternoon, everyone.